Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Oh my god. This computer, every time I turn it... Okay, this time it didn't. I must have just been really speaking close to the microphone. I'm so sorry. Anyways, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm Jen. And I totally lost my train of thought when I saw the microphone spike like that. So anyways, this is another vacation lot. I think this one is already tagged as a vacation rental because it's in Granite Falls. So this is a very, very old pack for The Sims 4. It's called Outdoor Retreat. If you like playing Rags to Riches, or if you enjoy camping or any of that sort of stuff, like nature, herbs, that kind of stuff, like herbalism, things like that, this is the pack for you. I personally love this pack and this world. I don't love camping in real life. I don't love cabins in real life, but I do love it in The Sims for some reason, because I'm weird, I guess. And so I really love this pack. Plus, yes, I am a rags to riches kind of person. And so there are lots of things available in here that are helpful to rags to riches, or for rags to riches. I got distracted by my confusion over why the countertops were not working. It's the way it is. The countertops are full versus when they are up against the wall, they kind of shrink a little bit, if you will. And I was so confused by that for a second until I realized what was going on, because there was a wall on one side of the corner counter, and so it shrunk the corner counter, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just need to put the other wall in and it's fine. Also, you got a little glimpse into the way I used to build. When I first started my YouTube channel, before I started my YouTube channel, but also when I first started my YouTube channel, I often laid out a lot of the furniture first. That's how I used to build, was laying out the furniture in the spots where I wanted it, so I knew how much room I would need. And then I built the building around it. Sometimes it works out okay. Other times, it leaves kind of a boring build on the outside. But I personally am a builder who builds to play, not to write stories or take photos or just to look at the builds. Not that I have anything against those kind of builds. I think they are fantastic. I spend hours and hours looking at people's builds that they mostly make playable, but are very clearly meant just for looking at. Really, you can play them. You're gonna have some issues here and there, but they're mostly made for looking at, and I can spend hours looking at them, and they're just all sorts of gorgeousness. I often retweet tweets of builds like this over on Twitter, so if you want to see some of those and check them out with me, you should head over to my Twitter. But me, I'm a builder for the sake of playing, because I am first and foremost a player, actually. I know that sounds weird, and it really drives me just absolutely mad when there are graphics glitching type of things where you have two objects overlapping and they're kind of fighting for being at the top and which one you see and stuff. And I also hate it when there are routing issues with The Sims, which is something I run into a lot. Most people say that with The Sims 4, especially more recently in The Sims 4 lifespan, they don't run into that like at all. They can literally put, I don't know, I see this a lot on like Lil Simsy streams and stuff. She literally puts a shower, sink, and toilet all in like 2 squares, 2 tiles, right? And her Sims are like, yeah, whatever, we're fine with it. I put a dresser a tile away from a bed, a full tile. There was a full tile of space between the bed and the dresser one time, and my Sims refused to use that bedroom. They would not go in there. They said the path was blocked. I don't know what is wrong with my Sims versus everybody else's, but mine are really dumb and they get stuck a lot. So I build for the most optimal playing experience possible while still looking good. That's my kind of build style, so that there aren't any issues. Also, I am from the days when move objects on was just really not recommended to be used, like ever, because it caused massive issues. And so you just did the best that you could in making the builds look good with the limitations that you had. And I just kind of got stuck that way. You know what really bugs me about some of the recent packs and their console tables and dressers? The 2 slots on the right hand side of the dresser console table are slottable by lamps or are snappable by lamps, but not the left side. You cannot place a lamp on the left side of consoles or dressers. It makes me so mad. I don't understand why that's a thing. I don't know if it's a bug or what. So, the story behind this build and the sort of inspiration is that in my last build, you sent your Sims on a little romantic getaway for 2, and that getaway led to one thing, and one thing led to another thing, and now they're going on a family vacation. I thought that was a cute little connecting story between them. They're taking their kids camping in the, I forget what it's called. I said it at the beginning. Granite Falls. They're taking their kids camping in Granite Falls, which I believe is up in the mountains. Kind of like Forgotten Hollow, but like a more sunnier area of the mountains, I guess. And there's the national park, and there's fishing and bug catching, and just kind of enjoying the outdoors, and kind of the opposite, but also not really if you think about it, from a Sulani vacation. I mean, a Sulani vacation is much the same. You're enjoying the outdoors, but in that one, you're going swimming, you're playing in the sand, I don't think there's bug catching in Sulani, but there's like fishing and exploring local customs and stuff like that, and this is much the same, except you're doing it in a forest instead of at a tropical style beach. You know what I mean? So I thought they fit together well, and I just apparently have vacation on the brain right now. I don't know why. I don't even feel the desire to go on a vacation or anything. The only thing I would kind of like to do at the moment, we've been slowly, very, very slowly, going through our house and collecting all of the excess stuff. You would be shocked at how quickly stuff tends to build up, especially when you have kids and pets and everything else. And I've been trying to do this probably for the better part of 6 years now, trying to slowly go through my house and just, especially as my daughter gets older, get rid of some of the like little kid and baby stuff and stuff like that because she doesn't use it. She doesn't want it. Might as well send it to somebody else who can get some use out of it, right? So we've slowly been doing that, but we live in such a rural area. There aren't a lot of thrift stores around us that take donations very often, and especially during the pandemic. They weren't taking any donations for like 2 years. So I had started this process maybe a year or two before the pandemic, and I thought it was only gonna take me maybe 3 years at the most, just because of my disability, and it takes me longer to do all the physical stuff like going through everything and packing it in boxes and cleaning it up and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, most people could probably get something like that done in maybe 6 months total, but for me, it took a lot longer. And then the pandemic hit, and nobody was taking donations and stuff. So it was like, I think we even had a garage sale once during the pandemic, and we figured, it was outside and we're wearing masks on top of it, so it's fine, but nobody showed up. Nobody showed up, which I don't blame them, honestly. And I totally forgot where I was going with that story. That sounds like something I would do. I start telling a story and then I have no clue where I was going with the story. Yeah, well, I'm not going to re record. I've had a bad morning. I had to go in and get a CT scan of my abdominal pelvis area, and I had to drink these two big things of, it's called barium, but it's like this radioactive contrast stuff that they make you drink so that they can see the entirety of your digestive system from start to finish. And it was rough. They didn't taste bad, but I've more or less sort of lost my sense of taste. And on top of it, I have severely dry mouth all the time. So it didn't taste bad. It just didn't sit well on my stomach. So I'm gonna record this once and be done with it and not do any extra takes because I am not feeling the greatest. Also, I'm anxious to get the results back, so I'm gonna go sit at my laptop and watch my online chart to see when the results will be in. They said it would be by lunchtime, so I'm not expecting the results to show anything out of my usual, but because I have a lot of tummy issues and have had a lot of intense pain lately, we just wanted to check on things, just to make sure things hadn't changed from sort of where I've been at for the last several years. At one point, about 3 or 4 years ago, they thought maybe I had Crohn's disease. Some of the tests came back positive for Crohn's disease, other tests came back negative for Crohn's disease. So we don't really know what was going on at the time, and it seemed to clear itself up after about a year or so. So it was like one of those things, all's well that ends well. But because I've had reoccurrent pain off and on, sort of thing, since then, we just check every now and then to make sure that nothing has changed. So, yeah, not that you wanted to know all about my tummy issues, but they do affect my life quite a bit. A couple of, like, what was that, 3 weeks ago or whatever, whenever that was when I was sick, that was what my problem was my tummy issues mostly. I also have allergies, which I think you can tell when I'm talking sometimes, that I have a lot of congestion because of the way I talk. But for the most part, my biggest issue is just my tummy issues. And so sometimes I just don't feel good and I can't sit and talk for even like 5 minutes, let alone 25 minutes, you know? Once again, like with my other build that I made for camping and Granite Falls, I made the kids' room way too small. I don't know how I managed to do this every single time, but I do. So I kind of had to stick things in there where I could, and I wanted to have as many different types of beds as possible for any different kind of combination of family as possible. Well, as many as I could think of, anyways. And you know what really bothers me about that bunk bed? The bed itself is not, there isn't a separate version of it like with some of the other beds. So you get the loft and that's it. There's no matching bed to put underneath. That's what I had originally been looking for. The idea was to put a bunk bed and then maybe a couple of toddler beds in here, but I couldn't. There was no bottom bunk for this bunk bed. So that was really annoying. And I was really frustrated. I ended up sticking a pack and play playpen type crib in there and one toddler bed. But you can easily switch those bottom beds out. You can put two toddler beds in there. You can put two cribs in there. And it's really super easy to do if you need to customize it for your family. I'm not gonna lie, a good portion of my building time was this back area here. I started going in one direction with it and hated it, so I started demolishing it and going in a completely different direction. And then I was like, you know what? It's cute enough that I'm just gonna leave it now and quit messing with it. But you'll see what I mean in a minute. I tried to use the rocks. What's funny is I couldn't find the rocks that came with the new pool kit. There isn't. There's two waterfall rocks, but there's also one or two regular, just like decorative landscaping rocks, and I couldn't find them anywhere. I don't think I could even find them like when I was going over the pool kit on live stream on my Twitch channel. I don't think I ever saw them when I filtered just to show the kit and that one kit and nothing else. I don't think I ever saw them there either because I didn't go over them in the live stream and I forgot they even existed. So that was a little annoying. I just used all the regular rocks that are already there. If you know where the two rocks from the new pool kit are, let me know down in the comments because I could not find them. I could not find them at all. So here's where I started going in one direction for the landscaping around the fire pit area. And I got quite a bit of it done before I'm like, no, this is poop. This is absolute poop. Just delete it all. Get rid of it. And start over. So that's kind of sort of what I did in a roundabout way. I didn't completely start over. I used some of what was there. Maybe if I had just left it at this and put a matching one on the other side and then centered the fire pit area between them a little bit, it would have looked okay. But I didn't stop there. I did not stop there. I kept going and I made it so much worse. I made it so much worse. See, that might have been fine. And then do the same on the other side, like by the porch. But nope. That's not what I did. I made it so bad. Oh, that's one thing I don't claim to have any expertise in or even like doing is landscaping. I hate landscaping. It is not my strong suit, that's for sure. And see, that just looks kind of random like that, doesn't it? I don't know, now looking at it like this, I kind of don't hate it as much as looking at it in the game. Maybe I should have left it like that. Ugh, I am so bad at this landscaping stuff. Oh, I forgot about this. I started to try to wrap around the fire pit area, and then I realized there's no way they can get to those chairs if I do that. So then I deleted it and I'm like, just put it back or make it the same shape as the other side, which I never accomplished. I never ended up making it the same shape. It's bad. Yeah. That's the one bad thing with this build is I don't love the landscaping. Hopefully you like it a little bit enough to use the build. I don't love the landscaping, I'm gonna be honest. I think I used too many rocks. I think that's what the problem is for me. I used way too many rocks. I should have used something else as a border. I think that's what makes it look bad to me. And then up here, I'm like, we're going way more simple up here. We're just gonna do a basic little landscape around the fireplace chimney thing. So that's what I ended up doing there towards the end. But here I'm just putting a few more things out in the yard area to enjoy while you're on vacation. Oh, right. I forgot. I put the little birds and the rabbits, because where better to put the birds and the rabbits than here? I don't know if they'll show up when your Sims are on vacation. I don't know if they'll show up, but what better place than a campground to have birds and rabbits show up, right? I thought it was the perfect fit for this. Fox would have been great too. You know what I wish we could do? I wish we could set to have like stray pets or just stray fox wandering around the whole neighborhood, not just attached to a lot, because then you could be at any lot in the neighborhood and have a fox show up. Like in Granite Falls, technically it's one neighborhood, so you could have a fox show up randomly anywhere in Granite Falls and stuff like that. I thought that would have been so cool, but they didn't give us that option, unfortunately. I think it would have brought a lot more life to the world. Who wants to see a video about the things that I like and hate about The Sims 4, what I wish we had, what I wish was changed, and kind of some things that I hope for in the future? If you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. We're almost done with the speed build. I definitely like the front better than the back, but that's my thing. Just very simple and not overdone. Just simple and cute. And when I try to overdo it, it's bad. But anyways, let's get to the walkthrough here. So here is that front landscaping that I actually kind of like, this front landscaping here. And then we've got the yard, the little rabbit, the bunny rabbit stump, a little porch. And then we go into the living room here. And we got a nice big fireplace. I did include a TV just in case for like rainy days or whatever. I also did put wood on the ceiling so it didn't look so stark white against everything else. You've got a nice full kitchen here. Plenty of room to cook and make meals. Lots of seating spots for any combination of family type, except if you have multiple toddlers or infants. I should have included a second high chair. I didn't think of that, but a little bathroom with a bathtub and a shower so you can bathe your toddlers and infants if you need to. And then the sort of bunk room. I did include a toy box out in the living room, by the way, for rainy days and stuff. But most of the idea of these places, this world and stuff, is to spend all your time outside, and that's where we're headed right now. I put a little swing set there, horseshoe area, and then of course the fire pit for roasting marshmallows. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying my channel. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!